Today we're going to be checking out the top 10 largest creatures ever, counting down to number 1 to find out who the world's largest creature is. Coming in at number 10 is one of my favorite creatures ever. I have taken every creature that you're going to see in today's video, put them against one another, and found the largest creature ever, as well as measured them comparably to other ones. This is Catherian, one of the most amazing looking mouths and jaws and body shapes out of any of the large, gigantic creatures that you're about to see. Now, just looking at this in and of itself is pretty massive. And you're like, this is number 10? Yes, this is number 10. It is nowhere near close to the top creature that has ever existed. And I guarantee you that there isn't another creature that is out there that is bigger than our number 1. If you're new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, like the video, all the good stuff, and let me know what your favorite creature you've ever seen in this game is, and what you like, the larger stuff or just really unique things. Now, a lot of the creatures that you're about to see are very unique in and of themselves, and we're starting with Catherian, which is one of my favorite ones I've ever seen. Coming in at number 9 is not the Alpha King Titan, but rather Carrier. Carrier is one of my favorite creations ever made in this game. It is one of the coolest looking kaijus, a combination of a kaiju and a carrier, as you can see. The way that I did this was I put them by each other and looked at like the sheer size, the length, how wide they were, and overall like if it was bigger than another one. And Carrier is our number 9, actually not actually a little bit bigger than Catherian. And as you can see, even the Alpha King Titan is relatively close in overall size, but it doesn't compare quite to the same size as Catherian or Carrier. One of my favorite things about Carrier is the gigantic laser that it has for a mouth there. It's just utterly destructive, and it also has, you know, missile pods and MGs to kind of simulate the Carrier effect of what it would actually be if it was half Carrier. Coming in at number 8, which is actually completely surprising to me because I thought that this one was larger than all the other ones, but it turns out it's actually nowhere near, thus why it's at number 8. It's our good buddy Cavunagram. This thing is one of my favorite ones simply because it looks so unique. It has more tentacles than any of the other ones that I've seen. It's got lasers all over it. It's got these big, gigantic spike ball mouth looking like things. It's so large that it like actually drapes off of the map for the most part. This is the largest snowland too, and so you can see it just, but look at its overwhelming firepower that this thing has. Just annihilated that entire army of Goros in a matter of seconds. And this is what's surprising to me. I thought this thing was actually pretty large, but it's number 8 in sheer size, which is just amazing. Coming in at number 7, and this was a really close one compared to Cavunagram, is one of the most unique looking ones. It's the Shin Spino. This is just ever so slightly larger than Cavunagram, which is actually pretty surprising because when you look at it, it doesn't look like it is, but it actually, overall body mass and like length and stuff, it's bigger. It's got a huge mouth and all that too, so a very close, could be tied maybe with Cavunagram, but I'm gonna put it at number 7. It is the Shin Spino, which is like one of the, I mean, this mouth there's no other mouth like this other than the one I made, which I made based off of this thing. And so really this thing is unique in and of its own right, and it's got a really cool look to it as well. Shin Spino, number 7, and up next is one that's just a little bit bigger than this one, and a new one actually. Coming in at number 6, this is a brand new creation, pretty unique looking, and I really like it. It's got a big massive flipper thing on the back of it, thus I'll tell you the name in a second. That's why it has this. Spikes all over its body. It's got these things, which I really like seeing these. And then it's got a couple little scrawny legs, then these big tentacle looking like things, and then also a whole bunch of spikes underneath its body. Then it's got these little tentacle things coming off of its face, and here it is. This is called the Lava Whale. It has a fin on the back too. The Lava Whale, number 6, almost the same size as Shin Spino, a little bit bigger and a little less than the next two two. In the next two, there's a tie place for number 5, and you'll see why in a second. But look at the lava whale. Let's find out what the lava whale does. I like putting these things in here because you can see the sheer size of this gigantic creation. He's got fire on his toes, fire in his back, thus the lava aspect. Does he swim in lava? That'd be kind of crazy to have some kind of gigantic Leviathan type of kaiju thing living in volcanoes, which isn't there something that kind of has that? Anyway, and also has like these rigid things. I don't know what's up with the things on his back, but maybe it's just for the overall look and shape of it. Clearly a competitor. Massive. Awesome. I like its little tentacle things going on here. The whole Cthulhu looking thing coming off the... It's not off the beard though. It's off the body. And yeah, so number 6, the lava whale. Actually, I take that back. We have a 3-way tie for 5th largest with a late competitor. We have this one right here, which is one of the oldest ones. This is Terra Skelex. He doesn't have a whole lot going on, but he clearly has got like, you know, the whole Sukis type of look to him. So this is Terra Skelex. He's got some webbed feet and things like that. Then we have Terra Skelex, which I don't know if it's based off of that thing or not, but clearly a little bit more intimidating than that thing is. Spikes all over, crazy mouth, big old legs, little tentacle things coming out all over it. And then the late arrival, which is, I tested, it's very close. Maybe number 6, tied with number 6, but I'm going to say tied with number 5. It is Veracunix, which we've seen before with the big old mouth thing, the beard looking sack thing, little crazy tentacles coming off his back there, big old arms, and then this huge giant flipper thing. So we're going to have a 3-way battle and see which of these 3 is the winner of all of them. We'll find out. I think they're probably all made by Unirite, or maybe one of them's made. There's some Magna and Unirite things in here. Those are the only 2 that I used. Actually, yeah, there was another one, but I took it out because it's not nearly as long. I'm gonna put it not nearly as long. I'm gonna put it in another video for the largest, the tallest ones. So there goes Veracunix. He goes down. Now it's just Terra Skelex and Terra Skelex left, and there we have it. Our winner, number 5, is Terra Skelex. Now, Terra Skelex and Terra Skelex are incredibly close in size. I think Veracunix might be a little bit smaller, but maybe bigger than Lava Whale. I'm not entirely sure. But there you go. Number 5, the Terras doing their thing. Now, maybe you're saying, hey, wait a minute. We've seen taller ones than these. We've seen, like, longer ones than these. How come you're not including those? Well, I'm going to have 2 more videos. One is going to be the longest ones ever, as well as the most dangerous ones ever. And so you can be looking out for those this week. I hope you guys enjoy. This is number 4. It is one of our favorites, the Elder Teradithis. Terradithis was one of the first big kaiju-like creatures, and this is the Elder version of it. It has a much bigger mouth, tons of eyes, spikes all over it, big old crazy grappling arm things, which are awesome because nothing can get by it. Big, huge kind of wings in the back here, a big old fin flipper thing, and then this nice big tail back here. So Elder Teradithis from number 4 to number 5 is a huge jump in size, and so Elder Teradithis is like a little, it's like another like 4th longer than the number 5s, and so it's pretty big. But there's even larger things than this, which is pretty crazy. But Elder Teradithis is one of my favorite ones just because it is like kind of OG, and what Terradithis is, and then the Elder version is as well. It's pretty old, but it's a really cool creation, and I just love that huge mouth. But I like the most, I think I like these things under here because nothing can even get close to like the legs, which is where everything goes and attacks. And so just like totally cool in its own right. And then it's kind of got these big old wing-like things, like it was a dragon at one time and gave it up. Coming in at number 3 is something that packs a punch, lots and lots of lasers, something that's also very different from all the ones that you've seen. And this was a little hard for me to decide how I was going to gauge this, and I just went with overall like length and like mass, like just how big it was overall. And number 3, Elder Teradithis is pretty big, but it's not nearly as big as the Wither Storm. The Wither Storm is one of the largest creatures that this game has ever seen. It covers a huge amount of ground, and it's also just like really, really unique in and of itself. So the Wither Storm is number 3, which I thought it was going to be number 1, but there's actually 2 that are larger than this, and I'll kind of explain why I gauged them the way that I did. But the Wither Storm, clearly a really, really unique creation, able to take out an entire field in like seconds. Coming in at number 2 is something so large that it like breaks your game if you're not careful. This is Margutive, and he is larger and longer, wider, got more going on than Wither Storm or any of the other ones below, which at first glance it doesn't look like it, but it actually is longer. And there's another one that's even bigger than this that I put at number 1 for one specific reason. You'll see it in a second, but this is like Kavunagram on steroids. He's got all these coming out here with like even longer and larger than a bigger face. He's actually a little bit larger, like longer total body wise than even Elder Teradithis. And so just a big, massive creature. Number 2, Margutive, which, guys, setting this video up and figuring out the sizes was actually really difficult. Look at this face. Look at this going on here. I totally forgot about this. It was actually really difficult because you can't put them all down together because it just lags your game, and so you really have to measure and kind of go at it over a little bit of time. And this thing, this was actually surprising. I didn't think this was larger, but it actually is, and just clearly a colossal nightmare of a beast, spinning blades of death all over the place, lasers all over, just a massive, terrifying creature. Now, this thing though is not number 1. Number 1 is something that you've seen before maybe, and is so cool. And we'll try to put these both in battle at the same time just so you can see the sheer size. Number 1 is one of my favorite creatures that has ever existed in this game. Margutive pales in comparison in sheer size and overall epicness. So this is our number 1. It's the Ender Titan. Oh, did anybody guess that this was going to be number 1? This thing is not only long, but it's large. It has massive wings, and you can see the sheer size difference between the 2 of these. The wings alone make it bigger than Margutive, and just an overall epic monstrosity. I love it. It's like one of my favorite ever, and it's so absolutely unique. I hope no one cheated to hop to the end to find out what number 1 is. Guys, I hope that you have enjoyed watching this video. Let me know if you think that there's anything else that's technically larger than the Ender Titan. I would bet you that there isn't. This has got to be not only one of the largest mouths ever, but one of the largest creatures to ever exist in this game, and it's a dragon. How epic is that? You guys, thank you so much for stopping by and watching today's video. Click one of the 2 videos that you're about to see, and I'll see you guys in the next one.